I spent the last month devouring The Asterisk War by Yuu Miyazaki and illustrated by Okiura. That's something like 3,400 pages of school battle tournament light novel goodness. The 17th and final volume was recently released, bringing this epic series to a close. These books center around Ayato Amagiri and his friends in the tournament city of Asterisk, home to 6 distinct schools that regularly hold battle tournaments for people who have been born with extraordinary powers. So today I want to talk about 3 really clever things that this series does and why you should read The Asterisk War. I'm going to do my best to avoid major spoilers, but minor spoilers are inevitable. Number 1. The tournaments: Phoenix, Grips, and Lindvolus. There are 3 distinct tournament arcs throughout the Asterisk War. In fact, it would be no exaggeration to say that the simplest way to describe this series to someone who knows nothing about it is to describe the battle tournaments. After all, there are many examples in Japanese anime, manga, and light novels that feature or even entirely revolve around tournament arcs, so the concept is an easy one to grasp. Of course, there's much more to the series than that, but even within the confines of the tournaments, Asterisk War does something really clever. See, life in the city of Asterisk revolves around these tournaments, or festas, which occur in a 3-year cycle, 1 tournament per year. But each tournament has a different format. The Phoenix Festa is a 2-on-2 tournament, the Grips Festa pits teams of 5 against each other, and the Lindvolus Festa sees fighters face off in 1-on-1 battles. What this means narratively is that while there are 3 tournament arcs packed into these 17 volumes, they each feel very different. The Phoenix Festa arc sees Ayato team up with Julius Alexia von Riesfield. By starting the series off with the tag team tournament, it gives the reader time to acclimate to the world of Asterisk, to the terminology. This series has a glossary in the back of each volume, by the way, without overwhelming them with too many main characters. By the time the Grips Festa arc rolls around, the reader is ready to deal with the larger cast of characters necessary for a team battle tournament. More than that, though, the benefit of this different format is that the battles feel different than the Phoenix arc. Fights during the Grips aren't rehashes of scenes from the Phoenix arc, as team battles have a very different dynamic from 2 versus 2 battles. And then once the Lindvolus Festa gets underway, the reader has a full grasp on the power and capabilities of many of the individuals fighting in it. By saving the 1-on-1 tournament arc for last, the Asterisk War has given itself time to fully establish its world building and develop all of its plot threads. If the Lindvolus had come first in the story, Ayato would face off against a series of powerful opponents, but the reader would have no connection to those opponents. With the Lindvolus as the last tournament arc, many fights end up being between 2 characters beloved by the reader, raising the emotional stakes significantly. But that's not the only clever thing that Asterisk War does with the tournaments. Number 2. The 3-entry rule. Students in Asterisk's 6 schools can be enrolled from middle school through college. However long they are enrolled, though, they can only ever enter 3 festas throughout that time. So a strong student may wish to enter the Lindvolus, then wait 2 years to enter the Lindvolus again, rather than use one of their 3 entries in the Phoenix or the Grips. Conversely, a fighter with abilities more suited to team fights might never bother with the Lindvolus. A fighter with versatile abilities might try for what's called the Grand Slam, winning the Phoenix, Grips, and Lindvolus consecutively. This introduces a layer of strategy to the festas and how schools compete in them. In fact, at one point, Claudia Enfield, one of the main protagonists and the student council president of Seidokan Academy, comments that she's actually glad that Kirin Todo, another of the main protagonists, isn't entering her 3rd tournament, as from Sedokan Academy's standpoint, they would rather her save that third entry for when she's grown even stronger. More than the subtleties of strategy that this introduces to the Festa system, this restriction is ingenious from a narrative standpoint as well. If students were free to compete in as many tournaments as they wished, then there would be no reason for strong fighters to not enter every single Festa. In practical terms, the story would be less interesting, because Ayato and crew would be going up against the exact same strong fighters each Festa, just in different team configurations. This way, though, each Festa introduces new fighters, some of whom have been hinted at or foreshadowed in prior volumes, and some who are brand new. It definitely helps to further distinguish each of the 3 tournament arcs. But perhaps my favorite thing about Asterisk War is number 3, character arcs for numerous characters, even minor ones. There are 6 main protagonists in Asterisk War, introduced slowly throughout the course of the series. Each of those characters, as you might expect, grows and matures by the end of Asterisk War, becoming stronger, both emotionally and as fighters. These character arcs are one of my favorite things about Asterisk War. It would be so easy in a series about combat, intrigue, sinister plots, and over-the-top abilities to neglect this very human side of the characters. And the series would be much poorer for it. Because at the end of the day, as cool as it is to read about a character summoning a magical gun with a bore the size of a football field, it's the human side of these characters that we as readers connect to. I'll be honest, reading all these volumes of Asterisk War back to back in a short span of time was a new experience for me in terms of light novels. Usually I bounce around from series to series, reading 1 or 2 from this series and then 1 or 2 from that series. But it was only a new experience in that regard in terms of light novels. Anyone who has binge-watched an anime knows the feeling of getting fully drawn into a fictional universe, of inhabiting it right alongside the characters, of coming to view the protagonists as friends. This feeling is only possible when the creator of a fictional universe shows us the human side of the characters, allowing us to watch them struggle, fail, and grow as people. And in this regard, Asterisk War succeeds brilliantly. And it succeeds not only in giving all the main characters fully realized story arcs, but also many, many side characters. There are dozens and dozens of minor characters in these books, and many of them are not only given strong characterization, but they very often undergo character growth as well. This, to me, is a remarkable feat, and makes the world of Asterisk War feel alive, like it's filled with actual people, and not just with a series of nondescript opponents for the fully fleshed out main characters to fight. It was a genuinely bittersweet moment when I finished Volume 17 and realized that my time in this fictional universe was over. While I could always go back and revisit the events of the Asterisk War, there are no new adventures with Ayato and his friends that I can read about, and that makes me more than a little bit sad. And this point alone, I think, is one of the best reasons I can think of to recommend reading The Asterisk War. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.